My mommy is sick, but she still works. The little girl whispered it so quietly that the rain tapping against the hotel's glass walls almost swallowed her voice. But Daniel Ward heard it. He heard it as clearly as if she had shouted it, as clearly as he had once heard his own mother gasping for breath in a cold apartment years ago. That was why his feet stopped moving. Why he turned. Why he knelt before the tiny figure sitting alone on a wooden bench in the hotel lobby. She couldn't have been more than 4. Blonde curls tied in uneven pigtails, pink dress peeking from beneath a too-big coat, shoes damp from the storm outside, clutching a backpack to her chest like a lifeline. Her legs dangled from the bench, swinging nervously. Daniel softened his voice. "What did you say, sweetheart?" She blinked up at him, her eyes blue and trusting in the way only a child's could be. "Mommy said not to bother anyone." She lowered her gaze to her worn backpack. "But she's been gone a long time." A knot tightened in Daniel's stomach. The hotel lobby buzzed with late-night travelers, polished marble floors gleaming under the warm lights, staff gliding gracefully between guests. And amid all that carefully constructed luxury, a child sat alone. "Where is your mom now?" he asked gently. "She's working." The girl's voice shook. "She said she'll come back fast." "But she didn't." "Working? At this hour?" Daniel glanced toward the elevators, toward the staff corridors. He knew every department: housekeeping, kitchen, maintenance. Someone must have seen her walk off. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lily." "Well, Lily, my name is Daniel." He extended a hand, not expecting her to take it, but she did, gripping his fingers tightly, as though she'd been waiting for someone to hold on to. And that simple touch felt like a punch to his chest. How long had she been sitting here, scared? How many people had walked past her? "How long has your mommy been gone?" he asked. Lily shrugged. "Longer than my show." "Your show?" She nodded seriously. "The one mommy let me watch on her phone. It finished and then the phone died." Daniel's brows furrowed. That meant she had been here for at least an hour. Long enough to be cold. Long enough to be scared. Far too long to be alone. He stood slowly. "Lily, how about we find your mom together?" A tiny spark lit in her eyes. "Really? Really?" He offered his hand again. This time, she slid off the bench and slipped her small hand into his without hesitation. The trust nearly broke him. As they walked toward the staff hallway, Daniel spotted one of the night managers, Philip, rushing by with a clipboard. "Philip," Daniel called. The manager froze. "Sir." I didn't know you were still here." Daniel pointed to the girl. "Do you know where her mother is?" Philip blinked. Whose child?" Daniel's jaw tightened. "Lily. Her mother works here." She was left alone in the lobby. "How did no one notice?" Philip stammered, "Sir, I'll ask around right away." "Do that. Now." Philip darted away. Lily tugged Daniel's sleeve. "Mommy didn't mean to leave me alone. She was coughing a lot today." "Coughing?" Something cold slid down Daniel's spine. "Is your mommy sick?" "She says she's fine." Lily leaned closer. "But she lies sometimes." "Only when she thinks I'm scared." Daniel didn't need more details. He had grown up watching his own mother hide her illness so he wouldn't cry. He knew exactly what Lily meant. They reached the housekeeping floor. The smell of detergents floated through the hallway, staff moving quietly with carts and sheets. One woman gasped when she saw Lily. "Sweetheart! Where have you been?" "Your mother is." Daniel stepped forward. "Where is she?" The woman hesitated, eyes moving to his tailored suit, the authority he carried without trying. She's in room 814, sir. She collapsed while cleaning. They took her to the break room to lie down. Daniel didn't wait. He carried Lily in his arms and strode toward the staff break room. When he pushed the door open, the air shifted. A woman lay on the couch, trembling under a thin blanket. Her face was pale, drenched in sweat. Her uniform stuck to her like she'd been working through a fever. A supervisor hovered nearby, unsure what to do. Lily squirmed out of Daniel's arms before he could say anything. "Mommy!" The woman's eyes fluttered open and widened when she saw her daughter. "Lily?" "Oh, no, sweetheart, why are you?" She tried to sit up, but her body sagged. Daniel stepped in. "Don't move." She froze, startled by the firmness in his tone. Philip rushed in behind them breathless. "Sir, we were just about to call." Daniel cut him off. "This should have been done an hour ago. Call an ambulance." The supervisor blanched. "Sir, she said she didn't want." "She doesn't get a choice," Daniel snapped, then softened his voice when speaking to the woman. "You need help. You're burning up." Lily buried her face against her mother's chest. "Mommy, please don't be sick." The woman, Emma, according to her name tag, tried to stroke her daughter's hair, but her hand shook too much. Emma closed her eyes. "I just needed to finish my shift. I can't afford to miss a day." Daniel inhaled sharply. "You collapsed." "I'm fine," she whispered, even as her breath rattled. "I'll be fine. I just needed to rest for a minute." Her voice faded. Daniel lifted Lily away gently. "Sweetheart, let her breathe." Lily clung to him instead, frightened. He held her tightly, shielding her view as Emma struggled to sit up again. "I'm sorry," she choked out. "I didn't mean for her to be alone. I told her to stay on the bench until I came back. I thought I could finish." Her words were slurred with pain and shame. "You shouldn't be working at all," Daniel said quietly. Emma blinked. "What? How long have you been sick?" She hesitated. "A week." "A week?" Daniel's voice rose despite himself. "You worked like this for a week?" Emma's shoulders shook. "I don't get paid if I don't come. And I can't lose my job. Lily needs." He exhaled sharply. "She needs you alive." Emma's face collapsed. Tears spilled silently down her cheeks. The paramedics arrived moments later. Lily panicked when they lifted her mother onto the stretcher, crying out desperately. Daniel crouched beside her, gripping her tiny hand. "They're going to help your mommy," he said softly. "They'll take good care of her." Lily sobbed. "Promise." "I promise." When the ambulance doors closed, Daniel turned to Philip. His voice dropped to a deadly calm. "How long have our employees been afraid to take sick leave?" Philip swallowed. "Sir, there have been complaints. But HR said." "HR will answer to me in the morning," Daniel said. "Effective immediately, every employee gets fully paid sick leave. No exceptions. And I want emergency childcare options set up for staff." Philip nodded vigorously, sweating. "Why yes, sir. Right away." Daniel looked down at Lily. She was shivering. He removed his suit jacket and wrapped it around her shoulders. It practically swallowed her, but she hugged it tightly. "Where will Mommy go?" she whispered. "To the hospital. I'll drive you there." Her eyes widened. "You'll come too?" Daniel hesitated for only a second. "Yes." The ride was quiet except for Lily's soft sniffling. When they reached the hospital, Emma was already being examined. Daniel stayed with Lily in the waiting room, letting her curl up beside him. She eventually fell asleep against his side, clutching his sleeve like she never wanted to let go. When the doctor finally approached, Daniel rose. "How is she?" "She has severe pneumonia," the doctor said. "She should have been hospitalized days ago." Daniel closed his eyes for a moment. Then he nodded. "She'll get everything she needs. Cost isn't an issue." The doctor looked surprised. "Are you family?" Daniel glanced at Lily, small, exhausted, and curled under his jacket. Then at the woman fighting for breath behind the hospital doors. And something inside him shifted. "Not yet," he said softly. "But I'm responsible for them now." And for the first time in years, Daniel Ward, the man who built an empire on precision, control, and distance, felt something he hadn't felt since he was a child. Purpose. Real purpose. Because the little girl had whispered one sentence that changed everything. "My mommy is sick, but she still works." And he realized leadership wasn't about owning buildings or signing paychecks. It was about hearing the quiet cries no one else listened to. And refusing to stay silent.